Oh my god.
Damn, I didn't know that the pandering agenda was failing. Who the hell I'm kidding? I know that it was fucking failing. It just took the actual executives like Marvel to notice that it's all failing. Now notice that I've said pandering instead of woke, because back in the day, woke used to be a African American thing. But in recent years, corporations have turned it, twisted it, and turned it into a very awful thing for pop culture. I guess what really opened their eyes was the success of Deadpool and Wolverine, and by the time this video is out, the movie is past $1 billion. Most folks are already like, damn, Marvel is back. Well, hold your horses on that one, because it's going to take a lot more than $1 billion movie like Deadpool and Wolverine to say that MCU is officially back, because we got a handful of movies left within the multiverse saga. Now that we got that out of the way, I want to talk about the handful of failures that the MCU, Sony, Disney overall has had over the years, starting with the Marvels. Now, I can admit that I liked Captain Marvel, the first movie that is, back in 2019. I remember when she was teased at the end of Infinity War and folks was looking at me like, who is that? Well, like I said, the movie was decent and it gained over $1 billion. However, her follow-up movie, The Marvels, I ain't gonna lie, the movie was harmless. It did have some decent fun in there, but as far as the box office revenue goes, it flopped hard. I'm not really tripping on The Marvels because Captain Marvel's character herself is pretty good. There is a pretty interesting incarnation on Avengers, the Earth's Mightiest Heroes, that aired on Disney XD. However, the Marvel's downfall was that it was already in the pandering society that most nerds hated it. Now notice why I didn't just say male nerds. There are plenty of female nerds out there that says that the pandering is getting out of hand. And if you have a majority of your fan base that you are pandering to that don't even like the stuff that you're putting out, and you're failing to see the problem, you maybe need to look within. Now, She-Hulk was a pandering mess. Like, after watching it one time and never returning to it says a lot in my opinion. And if I could remember She-Hulk in some comics and in certain TV shows, they are leagues above the MCU's counterpart. So was I surprised that they're not moving forward with the second season of She-Hulk? Not at all, because I know big time She-Hulk fans hated it. Oh, and that infamous cringy scene of her and Megan Thee Stallion twerking made my head hurt for about a week. And now there's a debate going on and saying like, oh, you accept Deadpool dancing to NSYNC, but you won't accept She-Hulk twerking with Megan Thee Stallion. You damn right that we're going to accept that, because that dance number at the beginning of Deadpool and Wolverine pays tribute to one of the best boy bands of all time, NSYNC. Now, if She-Hulk did something with the Backstreet Boys, you know that's going to be going around the internet and debating on which tribute was better. But like, the main reason that She-Hulk failed was because most of the writers and producers did not read one single comic. All they needed was that she was just a female version of the Hulk. That was it. And sprinkle some real world topics in there that women deal with on a daily basis gave them negative points as well. Now, like the Marvels and She-Hulk, I've only seen Madam Web once, and I fell asleep through most of it. I had to watch the rest of the movie on YouTube, and then when I watched it, I wondered why I fell asleep. It's because it was awful. The only thing I was looking forward to in this movie was that the Spider-Woman in their comic accurate suits. But once I saw the movie, I found out it was just a goddamn vision from the future. Now, I wonder what was going through Sony's heads when they were like, you know what? Let's make a Madam Web film. It's what the fans are asking for. Trust me, the fans did not ask for this at all. I feel in the initial reviews, they were asking you, who asked for this? Like, who literally asked for a Madam Web movie? I sincerely doubt that there will be a sequel to Madam Web. But I've been wrong before, and we ended up with several Sharknado movies, plus spin-offs and crossovers. So don't be surprised if you see a sequel to Madam Web down the pipeline, or another spin-off to Madam Web. Now the last thing I want to talk about is Disney Star Wars. Now it's been like over a year since I talked about Star Wars. Now I have watched some content of Star Wars in the past year, and it's not much, and that was of Ahsoka and Bad Batch. Now I have not seen the latest Star Wars prequel / spin-off, whatever you want to call it, and that is of Star Wars The Acolyte. Now the discourse that I'm in be on fire of every episode that they watch, and they say that the show is trash. Now I've meant to see it myself for how bad it is, but do I want to put myself through the trouble? I mean, I know I can't say much about it because I didn't watch the show, but from what I hear from my friends in the Discord, collectively and almost unanimously, that the show is bad. Some say it could be downright worse than Star Wars Rise of Skywalker, another movie that I slept on halfway through. Now Star Wars fans downright condemn this show. They feel that this is the worst upon worst of what Star Wars has to offer, and by the end of the season, they wanted the show to be canceled. And for once in the entire fandom, they won. The fans won, because The Acolyte will not return for season 2. This is probably the success of Deadpool and Wolverine, because once it reached over $500 million in its first weekend, Disney Marvel decided to clean house. And fortunately, The Acolyte was part of the trash that needed to be thrown away. Now going back to the pandering stuff, one of my good friends, one of my mutuals on YouTube actually, Nerd Culture is Toxic, I don't know, we either did a video together on stream, or I saw one of his videos stating that most of the fan base that Disney Marvel is pandering to are women. And most women do not read comic books at all. Well, I don't know any women personally that go out their way to read comics. I mean, if you count manga, but that's neither here nor there. And you know, if this were to be true, and if they go back to the way things were before they did all this pandering crap, the fans are going to rip Disney Marvel a new asshole twice over in content for the next couple years. They knew what they were doing, but still put out lackluster content just because of inclusion. Y'all can miss me with that bullshit. To me, I don't care about inclusion as long as the story's good. But the story doesn't make sense if you're just focusing on pandering. And that's what angry fans are pointing out these days. Because I highly doubt that they are sending a message that they hate women. It's just the fact that they seem better. And I keep saying they and not including myself. I think the reason why I'm not including myself in the conversation like that is because, like, I've seen folks just scream and be so angry to the point where if they see the creator or if they see the director of the movie or whatnot, they're going to spit in their face. I'm not on that level. I know there's pandering out here. I just sometimes want to have a neutral and respectable conversation about it without making it look like I hate women. Don't get me wrong. I love women. A little too much for that matter. But that's neither here nor there. But in my humble opinion, if a movie is a piece of shit, then I'm going to call it out and say that it's a piece of shit. Like Wakanda Forever for one. If you go back to my previous video, I made a video of testimonies of content creators saying of why they feel that Wakanda Forever was a bad film. And in my comments, people had opinions, but it doesn't bother me because they did exactly what I thought they was going to do, and that was to get my views and likes up. But one more thing before I end this video. Now, at the beginning of the video, you saw a screenshot of what could possibly happen in the next Black Panther film, and it's Shuri, Okoye, and Nakia raising T'Challa Jr. to become the next Black Panther. And I said this in my previous video before this rumor even came out. And now I feel like Marvel is trying to double back and fix their mistake by making Shuri the Black Panther in Wakanda Forever. They could have saved themselves the trouble and just recast T'Challa from the beginning, and they wouldn't have been in this mess. And now we have to have T'Challa Jr. He won't be the main T'Challa. We'll be dealing with his son going forward. Now I could take a guess of what the movie could be about. Now there's going to be a huge time skip to where T'Challa Jr. be like 18, 20 years old. He wants to claim his birthright and become the next Black Panther and King of Wakanda. But M'Baku is now king, and I'm pretty sure that he's going to like being king a little too much, and he's not going to give up the throne without a fight, making M'Baku the main villain of the movie. But that's just a guesstimation on my part. You're more welcome to disagree with me. But if I'm right, like I said in my last video, then y'all will be kissing my ass. Now let me know what you guys think in the comments. Please leave your bitch moans and complaints. I felt that in my last video that I made a lot of MCU fans perturbed, and I love it. I find it very useful to me. Yeah, that's the word. But anyways, that's all for today. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and I'll catch you all next time.
Oh, by the way, you're all fucking welcome.